Your phone rings. You don't recognize the number. The voicemail says you owe $2,300 to a company you've never heard of for a debt you don't remember. You're 90 seconds away from one of two outcomes. Maya called back. Diana didn't. Both owed the same $4,800 to the same collector. 6 weeks later, only one of them still had it on her credit report, and only one of them paid $4,000 she didn't actually owe. This is the most common money mistake in America right now, and almost nobody handles it correctly. Here's the part that traps most people. Roughly 1 in 4 Americans gets a collection call every single year. The script is identical every time. Aggressive immediately. Names a dollar amount. Mentions legal action, wage garnishment, credit damage. Speaks with absolute certainty about money you supposedly owe. Most people pay in that moment, not because they verified the debt was real, not because they confirmed the amount, not because they checked whether this company has any legal right to collect from them. They pay because the fear is louder than the logic. Here's what the industry data actually shows. Roughly 50% of collection accounts on credit reports contain errors. Half. Wrong amounts, wrong people. Debts that were already paid. Debts that were never yours. After the 2017 Equifax breach exposed 147 million Americans' personal data, debt collectors started buying that data from brokers and matching names to old accounts. Sometimes they match wrong. The phone call demanding $2,300 might be about a debt that was never yours. But here's the bigger problem. Even if some version of the debt is real, the collector calling you almost certainly cannot prove they own it, that the amount is correct, or that they have the legal authority to collect. They are betting that you'll never ask. When you stop paying a debt, the original creditor, your bank, or your landlord or your hospital, eventually gives up. They don't just delete it, they sell it. They sell your alleged debt to a collection company for pennies on the dollar. A $5,000 debt might sell for $200 to $400. That collection company's entire business model is to collect as much of that $5,000 from you as possible. Everything above what they paid is pure profit. Here's where it gets ugly. The debt doesn't just get sold once, it gets bundled into portfolios with thousands of others. Those portfolios get sold and resold across the industry. Every time the debt changes hands, information gets lost. Account numbers scramble. Amounts inflate with fees that may or may not be legitimate. Names get misspelled. Debts already paid get mixed back in with active ones. By the time Bruno calls Maya about a debt from 8 years ago, there's a reasonable chance the amount is wrong, the information is incomplete, or the debt isn't even hers. Bruno doesn't have the original contract. He doesn't have an itemized accounting. He doesn't have a signed agreement. Bruno has a spreadsheet with Maya's name, a dollar amount, and maybe an old address. That's not proof. That's a claim. The law has a very specific procedure for forcing him to produce real proof, if Maya knows how to use it. Maya picks up the call. Bruno is aggressive immediately. He says she needs to pay today. He'll add fees if she doesn't agree to a plan in the next 5 minutes. Maya panics. She agrees to $400 right now, then $200 a month until paid in full. In that single phone call, Maya just did 3 things that cost her thousands. 1. She verbally acknowledged a debt she had no obligation to acknowledge. Under the FDCPA, the burden of proof is on the collector. Maya just took that burden off Bruno. 2. She restarted the statute of limitations. In her state, an unpaid debt becomes legally uncollectible after 4 years. Maya's clock was already 3 years in. The moment she made that $400 payment, the clock reset to 0. She bought Bruno 4 more years to come after her. If you want to know whether your debt is past the statute of limitations, the free statute of limitations checker at debtdefensekit.co tells you in 60 seconds. Plug in your state, the debt type, and the date you stopped paying. That single answer changes everything about what you should do next. 3. She committed to $200 a month on a debt Bruno cannot prove he legally owns. Bruno paid roughly $200 for Maya's debt. By her second payment, he's already in profit, and Maya still owes the rest. Diana got the same call. Same Bruno. Same $4,800. Diana let it go to voicemail. That's rule 1. Don't pick up. Every word you say to a collector is leverage they didn't have a minute ago. Verbal acknowledgments restart statutes. Verbal yes responses get recorded and resurface in court. Phone conversations work in their favor, not yours. Within 24 hours, Diana did 3 things, none of them on the phone. 1. She identified the collector. She searched the company name, their state business registration, and the CFPB complaint database. 5 minutes of work. 2. She logged the voicemail with the exact words Bruno used. Words like lawsuit, immediate, and wage garnishment are FDCPA violations if the collector has no intention of suing. That voicemail becomes evidence. 3. She sent a debt validation letter, certified mail, return receipt requested. Under FDCPA Section 1692G, when a collector contacts you, you have 30 days to dispute the debt in writing. If you do, the collector must stop all collection activity until they provide full validation. Validation isn't a printout of what they claim you owe. It requires the original signed contract, a complete itemized accounting, the full chain of title from the original creditor to the current collector, and proof the collector is licensed to collect in your state. Diana didn't write the letter from scratch. She used the free validation letter generator at debtdefensekit.co. 3 fields: her name, the debt amount, the date of first contact. The tool wrote the letter with the exact statute citations and the exact document demands. She printed it, signed it, mailed it certified. Total cost, 1 stamp, 12 minutes. Bruno's company now has 30 days to produce documents they almost certainly don't have. The collection industry runs on phone confessions. Roughly 70% of people contacted by a debt collector pay something within the first 30 days without ever asking for validation. 90% never request validation in writing. Of those who do, more than half don't follow through with credit bureau disputes after the collector goes silent. Bruno isn't relying on having proof. He's relying on Maya not asking for it. When Diana asks for it, in writing, certified by the right deadline, Bruno hits a wall. He bought a portfolio of debts for pennies. He doesn't have the originals. Producing them would cost more than the debt is worth. So Bruno goes silent. He moves on to the next Maya. Day 31 arrives. No response. Diana now has a legal record that the collector failed to validate, which means they have no legal right to continue collecting, no right to keep reporting it to the credit bureaus, and no defensible case if they try to sue. The validation letter is the moment the power shifts. If you got a collection call today, here is the exact playbook. 1. Do not pick up future calls. Let them go to voicemail. Save every voicemail, document every contact attempt. 2. Do not call them back. Every word you give a collector is leverage you can't take back. 3. Do not make any payment, even a small good faith amount. A payment is a verbal acknowledgement of the debt. It restarts the statute of limitations. 4. Within 24 hours, send a debt validation letter via certified mail. Return receipt requested. The free validation letter, generator at debtdefensekit.co, handles the wording and citations. 12 minutes, 5 rec. Check your statute of limitations using the free statute of limitations checker at debtdefensekit.co. If the debt is past SOL, your letter strategy shifts. 6. Wait 30 days. The clock now runs against the collector. 7. If no validation arrives, file disputes with all 3 credit bureaus to remove the collection from your report. There's life after debt. Diana's collection was removed from her credit report 65 days after she dropped the letter in the mail. Maya is still paying. Both got the same call. Both owed the same amount. The difference was 24 hours. The free validation letter generator at debtdefensekit.co writes the exact letter Diana used. Plug in your details. Mail it certified. Wait 30 days. If your case is further along, if you've already paid, already been sued, already been threatened with garnishment, the full debt defense kit at debtdefensekit.co/kit has the complete 10-letter sequence, court motion templates, and the exact scripts for credit bureau disputes. $67. One time. Everything you need. And once the debt is gone, stick around. We're about to show you what to do with that first $1,000. There's life after debt. See you next time.